Traders, this is Gary Odom. Today we're going to talk about the TDVT new generation. It's a remake of the old Top Dog Visualize Trader. Algorithms are the same, signals are the same, and what I've done to prove that point on the right chart is the previous version of the Top Dog Visualize Trader, and this is the current version, and you can see that the signals are exactly the same. So why did we write another one? Well, for several reasons, actually. This is kind of in concert with the new conditional order system that we're presenting along with it, which is not to say that if you have the old version, you can't use the conditional order system, because you can. But I thought since we was adding the other, I would just do some things that needed to be done. And one of the things we needed to do was to get a little more geography available on the charts. You'll notice the top up here is of the old version, and this is of the new version. Considerably less space is consumed. One of the new modules that we have is called the Trade Manager system, and it also takes some geography on the chart, at least on one of them. You don't need to put it on all of them. On just one chart you need to put it, which is to help you enter orders into the conditional order system. So it doesn't have anything directly to do with the TDVT, but since we're putting them on the same charts, they both compete for chart geography. So I minimized the labels, and actually I found them to be easier to read. Simply you look for color. Green is up, red's down, yellow is weight, and that's bottom in, and it's pretty much, you see, it's pretty much what it says. I reordered the things. I have mom and dad in stochastic because the stochastic seems to be the most variable one. Mom and dad go in concert, and you'll notice here that dad is red. I would never ever trade against dad. I really suggest you use these labels to look and see what the market is doing, not wait for that little error to come up. As a matter of fact, it is a rare situation that you see errors on my chart. I simply put them up there today so we could look at this chart and say, yeah, they're the same thing. Well, that's done. I don't use the errors, so let's ignore them. I can take them off if I wish, but that will just take up time, and I don't want to do that. So what I do is I look at the errors to trade. Trend, mom, dad, stochastic. I mean, you've had the methodology taught to you by Dr. Burns, I would hope. And you can see now that the stochastic has turned down on the short chart, and it looks as though that it's going to be in concert with dad, which is kind of what we expected, because dad is a hard man to predict, to convince to go the wrong direction. And he's got his mind made up, and dad is down. And now what I'm going to do, since I've already convinced you that the studies are the same, I'm going to put here, I just need to click here, that's all. The next 3-to-1 chart up here so that we can see. Okay, well, see, dad's still down. Dad's down. You don't want to take a trade in here, and that's why we don't have a signal. In a nutshell, that's it. Just look at the labels. They tell you what's happening, what's going on. The stochastic is high, and it's coming down. You see it's at 59. It goes to 62. It's bouncing around. It's above the midline, but it's still headed down. That's why it's red. And until it hits the bottom and comes back up, or somewhere turns back up, it's going to turn green. But right now, those signals are headed down. Dad's headed down. Stochastic up here is still headed up. But, this is kind of a precursor to this one. Stochastic over here actually has a buy signal, because this is the old version. Let's get that off. It bugs me that it's up there. No, we'll leave it alone. Just look at the colors. Stowe's green here, Stowe's green here, Stowe's red here, dad's red here, dad's red here, and mom's red here. So, long term it's a downward trending. Even though the trend is up, price is starting to trend down, which means we might anticipate a down market today. We don't know yet. It's too early. This is market open. It goes crazy in the mornings. So, And it brings to thought, I talk to a lot of guys who have all these signals, all these indicators all over the screen, and it brings to mind, why do you have the study? Why did you even purchase it? You're making yourself fail by having all these indicators on the screen. It confuse the issue. Stick with one. It's telling you everything you need to know. All the indicators add nothing to the formula. As a matter of fact, they will probably make it worse because your eye can't perceive as accurately as the algorithms in this study perceive when it generates these symbols up here, the labels up here. Really, that's really the meat of the matter, and so many people ignore it. So many people just rely on the arrows. A foolish move. It's as foolish as not looking at the indicators if that's all you had. Stochastic, MACD, trend. That's all you have. You have no study. But don't look at the indicators. Just look at price, right? No, of course not. Well, this is your indicators. These labels are your indicators. That's the only ones you need. Don't shoot yourself in the foot by not having confidence in the study. If you don't have confidence in the study, take it off. Won't hurt my feelings. You know, I've been trading this for 9 years. I know how good it is. You don't need something new. The algorithms adjust with the market. What you need is the discipline to trade the system and the consistency to stick to your trade plan. That's all you need, and you will be a successful trader. I do understand that those two personal traits of discipline and consistency and avoid emotions in trading are really hard to get around. I get that. I've done it. I've been there, and I still struggle with it from time to time. But regardless, you have to dump it. You have to get rid of that. So what else is going on with this study? Well, let's just take a little quick look here. We'll go back here into the edit and look at the settings. You know the settings. The settings are the same thing as what you have for your indicators. They're the very same thing. What I'm going to do here, though, I don't like the 20. I prefer a 10. So I'm going to put the 10 in here. I just like that little bit of extra room up there in the stochastics to give me some flex. It hasn't run over the limits yet, or under the limits, so you know it's not really an issue. I'm just getting a head start on it. Yeah, that's already got 10. That's cool. What I wanted to show you right here, another little feature we've popped into there. That's called a rubber band trade. You're familiar with that one. The only thing you have to do is you need to change the moving average to weighted moving average. I need that little extra weight on the last few bars for it to really catch it at the right time. I don't suggest you do that with the TDVT, but just when you're doing a rubber band trade, it doesn't really track the overall trend differently that much. It just makes a little bit of difference on the tail end here. And here is a couple of rubber band trades, one down and one up. The reason you know that you can ignore the red signal is because the trend is simply a little blip. It's not really the trend. You can see the trend. This is the one that's going back to the trend. This is actually a cross trend trade, and when it crossed, the algorithm picked up that the trend had turned down. That is because of the weighted moving average, probably. Let's go back to simple. Yeah, you see, it didn't weight that bar so much. But by taking it off, you sometimes miss those little trades, like one that would be here, for instance. It might not turn green quickly enough. Though we're not tracking a rubber band trade there. So in any case, that's our rubber band trade. See right here, it certainly wouldn't catch it here because we still have red. Let's see if a weighted moving average will help. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. In this case it does not. It almost gets it though. It just wasn't quite ready. And again, you're not reverting to the trend with this signal. That is a false signal based on this tiny little block in here. Let's see if I can do it here. How come I can't do this? Oh, it's got crosshairs, that's why. I'll do it this way. There we go. See this tiny little block of red in here. And you can see from here, this is mostly green. This is not a trend reversion trade. This is actually crossing, and look, it just barely got across. So you'd want to ignore those when you rubber band trade. In order to get as many signals as I can, you're going to get a few false signals. Nothing's 100%. Okay, back to the TVT. Okay, what else have we done? Well, I believe, you go through and look for things that have signals, particularly with big time frames. It's kind of hard to find them sometimes. What you need is a good scan. And we have a good scan. Have you been using it? Maybe not. Well, to make matters easier, I've written another module. It's called the TVT scan, and you will use that rather than your regular study to scan. And it looks pretty much the same, with the exception, if I can find the right spot here. There it is. Okay. It looks pretty much the same. You see just all the settings are in here. There's no plots like the other one had. You remember you had to go up here and select the different plots. They had the average in there that you had to avoid. Well, I don't deal with any of that anymore. Now you just say accept bullish or bearish right here, and you're good to go on your scans. Sometimes people have difficulty setting these things up. So what I've done for you is I have included in the manual these links. Now when you read the manual, you have to do it online, otherwise these links won't work. You can print it, but these links will not be effective in a printed copy on your desk. You simply click on that, and it tells you what it is, the shared item. This comes personally from my personal platform. That's why it says TradeWin down here. That's my nickname on the site. And then you just click open, and what happens, it said the scan has been saved from TradeWin on April 27th. So thank you so much. It's already saved for you in here. And there it is. There's the scan. You say, wait a minute, that's not the scan. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Hang on. I'm looking. There it is. Okay, there's your scan. Just like you'd seen before. If you don't want to use pre-market data or extended data, you check those off. Let's see if we got anything. It's kind of an up market so far this morning. Nope, nothing there. So how hard is it to change to go to a bullish one? Well, let's just do this real quick. Let's make this bullish. We'll save that one. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, yeah, I didn't click OK. Alright, custom, edit, bullish, save, OK, and we have to change this one or eliminate it if you wish. That is simply a trend direction. We'll just change it. Click on that. Come on, there it is. Whoops, boy can't type. There we go. And now we scan. Still no matching signals. And why? 5:15, 1 hour maybe? I don't know. But there aren't any. The market's so scrambled that there aren't any. That's it. When you get some, you know they're good. You don't want a whole bunch of signals up there when there's really nothing to trade. Now, we could probably get signals simply by just doing this. If you just wanted to have one, and you could do it that way, and you get a whole bunch of them. Then you have to sort through which ones you actually want. But it has no reference to any of the other charts or anything. Now, where is this stuff that was saved for you? Well, if you go up to here, pardon me, wrong, you can't see it, but it's the middle set. It's out of the recording zone, but it's the middle set of hamburgers. And what I mean by hamburgers is little stacks of lines over there. It looked like a hamburger to me. And you go to personal, and there it is right there, and we load that back on. Okay, and of course you're not going to get anything here. This is a bullish scan. But if you want to see if you just had maybe something where the trend is not with you, still none. It's like I said, it's a pretty bullish market this morning. And we get a few. We get a few that's headed south. And if you wanted to move that without going to a lot of trouble, you can send to yellow, which happens to be my color, and then we will get out of here. There. Go back to the charts, and my yellow came up, and we can see it is definitely a downtrending stock. But the Stow is up here, Dad's up here, Stow's up here. Really, conditions just not right for a trade. But it did find that one stock. Okay, what else is going on? Well, mostly that pretty much covers what's going on. Because unless you want me to go stroke by stroke for the setup on this stuff, and I can do that. And it's toward the end here. So here's our settings. Mom's 520/30, that's default SMA. All of these are default settings, 532 SMA. And what you have here, display about. Now if you turn this on, it's going to show you how many days that you have left. I suggest even a manual for you to turn that off. The copyright comes up just to let you know that it's there. You can turn it off so you don't have to see it. If it were my trade chart, I would come up here to show errors and turn that off so that I don't have errors, because I don't use the errors. And I'm going to tell you why the errors are there. The errors were designed so one could go back and back test it and see, oh, look at these places where it generated signals. Yeah, that was a good place. Just like here. This is a good place to have a signal. Every one of those is going to be payday for you. But really, I'm more concerned about what's going on right now than what happened a week ago or 2 days ago or several hours ago. So I turn the errors off, and then I use the labels. I find it to be much more accurate. I think that's about all the settings that you'd have to be concerned with. So without further ado, I'll say thank you very much. Be very careful out there in that COVID-19. And I'll see you on the other side. And you know what's going to be interesting about this? This will really be a dated video, because somebody will hear this thing 6 months from now. They'll have forgotten all about COVID-19, and we'll be back to our foolishness just like we were before. So we'll see. Take care, traders. Have a good day. I'll see you on the other side.
These mist-covered mountains are a home now for me. But my home is the lowlands, and always will be. Someday you'll return your valleys and your farms, and you'll no longer burn two bare brothers in arms. Through these fields of destruction, baptisms of fire, I witnessed you suffer as the battle raged higher. And though they did hurt me so, and alarm, you did not deserve my brother in arms. There's so many different worlds, so many different suns. We have just one world, but we live in different worlds. Now the sun's gone to hell, the moon's riding high. Let me bid you farewell. Every man has to die, but it's written in the starlight, every line in your palm, where fools to make war on our brother and our.
Thank you.